Hello people, this is Mark from Courage Change Works. Guys, I hope that you are well. In continuation with the frustration series, the first few were like interpersonal relationships, self-frustration and stuff like that. And then I gave you 3 causes of frustration. I omitted to say that, the biggest thing that causes frustration in people is things that you simply can't control. When it's out of your control, when it's beyond you, that kind of thing. And you've got this passion and drive to do things and trying to achieve more than what you currently are, but there's all these roadblocks and hindrances in your way. That causes a lot of frustration. I know in my own life that trying to get things done and all you seem to encounter is problems. Now, it's easy to say, you make your problem a stepping stool and you make your stumbling block something that you stand on. It's easy to say that. However, when you are rushed and filled with all this emotion and feeling of frustration, knowing that you can get further, but because of circumstance, you simply can't. You have to kind of wait it out a little bit. That generates patience and frustration, and that's a different ball game altogether. I would like anybody who is frustrated to kind of step on things and make them stepping stools and purchase for moving forward. It's not that easy all the time. Sure, sometimes it can be done, but generally speaking, when you're so full of frustration and I just need to get on, I just need to get a move on, it is then that you've got to be really careful so you don't make decisions in haste based on emotions. Any case, in this video I'm going to give you 5 different ways in dealing with frustration, and then in the second video I'm going to give you 5 more, and so that there's at least some kind of guide, I suppose, what you can use when you feel frustrated, because it's inevitable that people feel frustrated, particularly now with lockdown and restrictions here, restrictions there, that you want to do things but you can't. So yes, in this particular video, 5 tips, if you want, on or starting points for you to at least make strides in alleviating this frustration. Number 1, meditate. Now, a lot of people have this scary idea what meditation is, and some people say you need to empty your mind, you need to do this. From my experience of meditation, it is none of the above. Yes, you've got to be quiet, absolutely, but empty your mind. What are you going to meditate on? Nothing. Silly. Meditation, in my eyes and from my experience, is you need to pick a subject, pick a topic, and then break it down into maybe a phrase or a short sentence, or maybe even a single word or so. And then spend time pondering that phrase. Let's say it's love, and you ponder love from different angles, and you consider it from different people's points of view, different culture groups, let's pretend. And you might spend 5 minutes thinking about what love is, what love isn't. How do we express love? How do we accept love and stuff like that? This whole idea of people emptying their minds, I would like to know where the scoop is, please. And besides, if you empty your mind, how on earth are you going to breathe? Sorry, I'm being a little bit facetious here, but these promoters of emptying mind during meditation, guru kind of people, man, they clearly haven't thought that through, have they? Really? So meditation, if you are frustrated, maybe it could be, what is this frustration trying to teach me? What can I get out of? What can I do? Lots of things. Meditation is as broad as the ocean is deep. You can focus on anything. So there you go. That's one. Number two, getting some fresh air. Now what that means is simply going for a walk, or going for a hike, going for a picnic. I know, during lockdown, sometimes you're not allowed to go out and do these activities. If you take all the precautions, I suppose, for lockdown, and if it is that you have to wear a mask, then wear a mask. If you don't, then okay. But the thing here is, getting out is, there's a few things that take place there. You're getting out of the scenario, the situation that you're in. That might give you a different mindset altogether. Simply moving is a good thing. But when you go out and you go for a walk, then you're getting the fresh air, you're getting the oxygen in your brain, and that will inevitably do you well. Seeing different places and different things. It might be a street that, or a field or a park that you've visited frequently. But when you're, let's pretend, meditating while you're walking, you're going to experience something completely different. And I would want to say I can guarantee things will be different for you. But of course, you know as well as I know, the only thing that is guaranteed is death and tax. And but certainly, in the idea of going out for a walk and getting some fresh air, has got a lot of health benefits for you. That leads me on to the next one, which follows very, very naturally, is exercise. Going for a walk, going for a hike, going for a cycle. If you can, go for exercise in the gym. If you've got a pool, if you're in one of those countries where you've got a pool in your backyard, go for a swim if it's possible. Anything that's exercise, maybe even in countries like England, where the houses are primarily quite small, you can put the TV on and do some exercise on a DVD, or with the aid of a DVD. Or nowadays, virtually everybody has got these Android style phones, and there's loads of apps on the App Store that you can download that you can use as a guide to do a little bit of homegrown exercises where you can spend 10-15 minutes. Anything just to get your heart going, breathing a little bit deeper. And then, if you can do all the other things like I've suggested before, it's a fantastic way of kind of ridding your body of all this stuff that is getting you frustrated. Bearing in mind, let's pretend that you can go to the gym. Obviously, I'm now talking post-COVID, whenever that might be. Then you physically got to get in your car, get on your bike, get on your motorbike, whatever the case might be, and go from point A to the gym. Getting fresh air effectively, aren't you? So it's good things. Exercise. Practicing non-violent communication. Now, I spoke in the first video in this little bit here about poor communication as a cause of frustration. Now, what do I mean by non-violent communication? The word violent is maybe a little bit erroneous in its description, really. When you think about violence, I think about fighting and war and arguments and that kind of stuff. But the essence, what I'm trying to say here is, when you are frustrated, your emotional levels are already heightened. So, and when you are trying to communicate from a position of frustration, chances are you're going to be charged. So by practicing non-violent communication effectively, what I'm saying is you need to step away, give yourself a few minutes, let that feeling of frustration ease down somewhat. It might mean having to step away. It might mean going for a walk around the block. It might mean saying to the person that you are trying to communicate with, listen, I can't speak now, I can't think clearly. Go make yourself a cup of tea. Go make yourself a cup of coffee. Go listen to a couple of songs on your phone or on your stereo hi-fi kind of thing. And just give yourself that little bit of breathing space. Now, there's some people who advocate give yourself between 6 and 10 seconds breathing space before you answer a question. I advocate that But sometimes when your heart is pumping at 100 miles an hour because of the adrenaline that's firing your limbic system off, maybe 6 to 10 seconds might not be enough. Maybe you need 15 or 20 minutes. Hence the idea of a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. That way everything kind of neuters down a little bit, and you might find that you might think clearly. In fact, you might even find that some of your frustration has kind of completely eased, and then when you debate with the other person, that you will be far more logical and rational about the given subject that needs to be discussed. And then finally is focus on positive visualization. Now, we can nearly say that this is very similar to meditation. And I would say that it nearly is. But the idea here is focus on something positive. Now, again, I totally understand that when people are frustrated, it is as if your viewpoint has become so narrow that the only thing that you can focus on is this cause of frustration, regardless of what it might be. And again, trying to say focus on something positive when your peripheral view has become so focal that it's very difficult to kind of let your eyes view kind of expand back out to 2020. It's very difficult to do. However, consider the steps. Go for a walk, meditate, do some exercise, move. These are the kind of things that will help your eyesight to increase again and see things in perspective, and therefore it will give scope for positive viewpoints to enter into your system so that you can actually say, right, yeah, it's been a bit of a cruddy day today because of I sat in traffic, or my boss gave me 10 million pieces of work to do and I didn't have time, and there's a deadline and all this kind of nonsense. And by actually stepping back, doing set steps, might actually say, well, actually, I've still got my children, I've got a house, I've got my health, or whatever the case might be. And finding something positive to focus on and to visualize in maybe a meditative state, in my eyes, is a really good thing. It's all about balance. And I think a lot of things why people are experiencing a lot of frustration is simply because their lives are out of balance. And I often refer to people who are out of balance as trying to run with 5 legs. There's ample to get you going, but it's knowing which one to put down next. That's the problem. So I'm saying here is I'm encouraging you to get your life back in balance, not just saying it, but actually doing it. There's a lot of benefits in doing so. And that is it just for this little video. I'm going to make another one with 5 additional tips and strategies that you can use to at least manage your frustration, and when you identify that there's things that you can do. I'm hoping that this is an empowering couple of videos for you when we're dealing with these very, very real life emotions. Okay? Hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, there's going to be another one soon. If you have, please do so in the comments box below. Tell us what's going on. Maybe there's some other stuff that we can help. I'm also considering doing a little meditation, hypnotic meditation regarding frustration, and I'll be implementing some of these things that we're talking about right here. So please subscribe and share and tell all your friends about it. So let's get this word out. Maybe I haven't used the word, the little phrase that I said a little while ago, but let's keep this channel growing and going. It's really important that a lot of good, useful information that myself and Lara are giving you guys. It's fun making these videos. It's fun researching them and drawing from our own experiences, both her and I. We want to serve you as best as we possibly can, and that's the general motivation behind why we're doing what we're doing. So there you go. Please like and subscribe, and when you pick the little notification bell, pick all. You get all the videos that we upload. and tell all your friends, like I said before. I really appreciate it if you would. But for now, this is Mark from Courage Changeworks, and I'll speak to you soon.